welcome back again to Konich-Yeehaw, presented by Last Choice Network. I'm your host, Master of Shadows, aka Taylor, Brown, however you really want to refer to me. I'm joined again by Ricky, and we are going to be continuing our synopsis slash our beliefs and how we feel One Piece is going. We are currently talking about characters. I think we are kind of delving into Nico Robin. I think we're going to go ahead and jump on into our next character. We're going to jump on into Nami.
The cat burglar. Oh
Yes,
gosh.
sir.
And truthfully, there would be a lot that Luffy would be missing out on without the cat burglar Nami.
Oh yeah, just her original introduction back with Arlong and all them. The Arlong pirates way back when.
Oh gosh, the Seaman Pirates. They are with Arlong. Because they actually branched off from the Seaman Pirates. Oh man.
Yep. So, but really, Luffy without his navigator would be at a total loss right now because he can't steer that ship.
Oh,
He
of course
couldn't.
not.
Even Going Merry trying to help him, he couldn't steer the ship. So they really needed Nami, or they'd be lost right now.
Especially being able to read the different log poses. Oh gosh, yeah, the triple log pose, he'd be nowhere. He'd be absolutely nowhere. Being able to she was even actually able to read the seas by being able to see the different currents. And she was like, okay, well, this is how you're going to be able to ride this current. I remember when they were trying to get past, I think it was into the new ocean that they were in now. What was it, the Red Sea?
The Red Line.
The Red Line. There we go, the Red Line. Yeah, even being able to get past and get into there. I mean, without her, it would have been another ship under the sea.
Yes, sir. They just after Maryfold, after the first time they got there, and Kuma kind of just boop, and they all vanished. And really seeing her come back, because right there is a real good change too. You can see it in the art style after that 2-year hiatus for Straw Hats. Like you see the art style actually change there for the anime. Like it hurt me watching the original episodes because they're kind of animated poorly. But as that show has gone on, it's progressed, and then there is really when you see this new branching art style that they have, and how they animated the characters and how they did the shapes of the bodies and everything, and they really got into like animating the fights and how everything looked like the hockey on the arms, the legs, just the different types of like animations that they could do at this point in time. And I understand the reason for that being is that when One Piece started, you're talking about it started before a lot of the animation styles they have today were even available to them.
Oh yeah.
So you can see that, hey, new animation styles, let's start integrating that into our anime and see what can really go on. I don't think they needed to change Nami's bust style like they did, but they did. Because she went from like an A to like a double D. But
if we're talking about anime in general, the norm of what's going on with this anime is they always try to, I guess, try to get their visions towards men. So you can see Nami, Nico Robin, Boa Hancock. I mean, all of them are definitely very well endowed, and even down to their outfits. I mean, what Nami is always wearing that like mini skirt all the time. I mean, just
well, they've changed it now. She wears jeans and a bikini top all the time now.
True. Which again, making it towards male wanting to watch the show. Yeah, now she's just only wearing that bikini top, and it's crazy when you watch them fight too. You're like, how are these characters like fighting with just this bikini top like outfit? It's always something that's been in the back of my mind of questioning, but hey, they do it.
I really like though in that when they came back to Maryfold and the first two people to meet up were Usopp and Nami. Like the two you actually get to see start interacting. You got the fake Straw Hats there, and they had the big fat guy trying to act like Luffy. I don't really know how he was supposed to be Luffy, considering Luffy's this.
He was the biggest guy, of course.
Yeah, but Luffy's this like 18-year-old, 16-year-old kid at the time that's just skinny as a rail. Like, and everybody believed it. Heck, even Luffy believed some of the other people were the other ones. Chopper did the same thing.
Well, let's be real. I mean, if we're talking about Luffy, I mean, his mind isn't always there. We're talking
Yeah.
about, as you said, this kid. So, yes, I'm sure he's like, oh my god, you gained a little bit of weight, Zoro.
And then you get to see Nami's new abilities with the weather staff that she has now.
Man, if we're talking about that weather staff, so those that have seen One Piece, may not be as far into the land of Wano as we are now, or even the Big Mom series. But Nami used to kind of be like Usopp, where her character did not really have too many strengths. She was really just a cat burglar. She was able to be able to navigate the seas, the navigator, but she really didn't have that much fighting ability. It was almost of like, okay, we got to protect this gal. You know, Obviously she had her traits. She loves money. She's doing everything for the gold. Uh, but at the end of the day, being able to see her and how she was able to, acquire Big Mom's cloud. Oh my God! Again, jaw dropping. Because as you continue with the different characters, you realize, okay, Nami can no longer be that skittish girl who needs to be saved all the time. She needs to be able to say, hey, if the King of Pirates is asking me to do something, I'm able to fight back.
Oh yeah, and you still kind of see that skittish girl in
Of course.
Dressrosa when she was fighting against the oh, what was the name of his pirates against Doflamingo's family, the Doflamingo family. I forget
Yeah, the
what he
Dopamine family.
when they when her, Brooke, and Chopper had to fight the one. Uh, oh, what is her name? It started with a G. I can't. I just watched it too. But they had to fight her on the ship, and she's turning everything into artwork, and she still chose flight over fight there after she kind of got ambushed by that character.
I mean, Usopp, Chopper, Nami, I think those are the three consistent characters that tend to choose flight first. Uh, but I'll also say when we talk about the team, I'll say that they are probably some of the most intelligent characters that are part of the Straw Hats as well. So fight or flight, sometimes by choosing that flight method, they're able to kind of rethink things in order to really get the advantage.
Yeah, and you really get to see that more on later, like later on with like the Big Mom taking the cloud and everything, where her fight or flight takes hold, and she's fight. She's not.
Oh man, and when she fights, she is fight now. I mean, again, from seeing all the flight action in many of the earlier arcs to seeing Nami fight, unbelievable.
Yes. All right. I think we should jump into the lovable little reindeer doctor and
Tony
Chopper.
Chopper.
Yes, sir. And he that's exactly what he is. That's what he brings to the table. He is their doctor, and he's been there through thick and thin for them to help them from the worst of injuries back to full health anytime
Yeah,
they've been down.
I mean, literally any type of injury, he is able to even come up with the new remedies. And well, as we continue to follow the Straw Hats, we find that they always have their own way of doing things, just like their captain. So of course, Chopper wanting to be the best doctor in the world, he has his own way of doing things. He's able to develop different cures. Even the most recent one, I'm sure he's going to have a cure for the Ice Ice Oni. But even the most recent before that, where it was the poison zombie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he also had a cure for the poisoned candy on Punk Hazard.
Yes.
He came up with a cure like that for it.
Yes. I don't know. And it's interesting how Chopper even came to be, too. It's this little reindeer on this random island. I believe it was called the Drum Island. But it was just this random little reindeer accidentally ate the Hito Hito fruit. or I think it's called Hito no Mi fruit, which actually gave him human-like abilities. So, you have this reindeer that's, and he's not even shying away at the fact that he's a reindeer. He actually states that I'm a reindeer, but I ate this human fruit that lets me talk and lets his character truly develop with his what, one, two, three. I think it has 4 or 5 different forms.
Yeah. He's even got the monstrous giant form after he eats this certain food pill that he can't
That he
control.
learns to control.
Yep. But yeah, no, he's definitely an interesting one for sure because he's just he's he's always trying to fight for what's right. Like he's really this is what's right. Like you really got to see that in different arcs. But Punk Hazard is the one that sticks out the most to me when he's trying to save the kids. Like he couldn't just let them go. Like in his heart, he couldn't do it. Like he had to do what was right, and he knew that his captain would accept him for that because he was doing what he believed in.
Oh, 100%. And as we know, because we've talked about several times, that's how Luffy believed. He believed if you are doing what you feel is right, there is no wrong. There's truly just no wrong in that. But and I think Chopper really gains that from Luffy as well by saying, "Well, I now have the power where I can fight for what's right. I don't have to back down anymore."
Yep. Especially right now with Wano and everything, he really developing the ability to fight for himself a little bit more because he still up until that point in time he could fight, but he still wasn't strong enough to really push back against some of the enemies, especially some of the more powerful enemies that were devil fruit eaters. So he kind of didn't really have the ability to fight back for him. And I don't know if they gotten to his awakening yet on the devil fruit.
They,
I don't.
they have not. I always thought his awakening was that giant form, but if that's not his awakening, because now that we're talking about it, it doesn't make sense that that was his awakening since he actually got that before Luffy got his awakening.
Yeah,
So
I think that they'll probably try to tap into that awakening here not too long, like here in the future, because every devil fruit eater eventually is going to find that awakening,
right.
and so I really hope to see that they really actually kind of touch on his awakening, just like I hope they get to Nico Robin's awakening. Like I really want to see those two develop more with their devil fruits and see how that goes for them.
You're ready for another 1,000 more episodes, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I got to see it to the end. Now I've already started.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, this is one of the longest running animes that are out there. But I feel there's less fillers, and by far, as we talk about it, there's so much involved. And you almost feel like, yes, I'm a part of the Straw Hats because you're developing with each of the different characters. I mean, it's just half the reason why it's one of my favorite animes.
Oh yeah, writer's really good at really drawing you into each character and their character development. So next on the table, I think we have Frankie, our pervert robot cyborg shipwright. He's the guy who keeps the ship in tip-top shape. He's the one who built Thousand Sunny, and it's probably one of the best ships on the water as of current.
It's definitely the best ship that's on the waters. It's interesting how it's like how he develops the Sunny, right? Well, first the Sunny and the gosh, what's the new ship called? Isn't it like the Sunny 2?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah, it's like the Sunny 2. I remember when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, that didn't change names, but okay. But again, it's just crazy how even down to the smallest detail of creating the ship. How with integrating it with the cola. And that's all the mindset of Frankie. Without Frankie being there, he would just have another everyday ship.
oh yeah, is that Frank? The ship's actually taken on another personality since Frankie has gotten there. Like the Going Merry had its own personality at Ines Lobby, and is really wanting to help and continuing to wanting to sail on with them, but it wasn't big enough for them to grow anymore. They really needed something bigger and better. And the Going Merry saw that. It saved them one last time and knew that this was the right thing to do. And Frankie, and now you get to see 1,000 Sunny and 1,000 Sunny 2 or Sunny 2, and you get to see like how those ships are kind of developing their own personality too. On with the Straw Hat Pirates, and like it's almost like an extension of Frankie himself. The ship is.
I'm actually glad that you said that because when we see Frankie navigate the ship, because normally it's the navigator Nami. She's normally the one behind the wheel. But when we actually see Frankie says, "Well, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and take the helm." It's because they need to get out of certain situations that only he knows the movement of the ship to be able to truly be able to like take those twists and turns, being able to take the different blasts. And I like how he developed the ship to add, what did he add? The miniature tank, the cycle. And because Frankie is a cyborg, he actually integrates himself into, the cycle and this tank to become what? Mega Frankie?
Oh yeah, the first time it was the first time you see it is at Punk Hazard, the giant cyborg Frankie
The
out there.
giant cyborg Frankie. And even that was a hard one for Frankie. So he even had to develop even more on that.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I remember when he first started, he didn't have it almost looked like he was more human when we first started, and after he, again, they had that year, the couple year hiatus, that's when, yeah, he developed even more of a cyborg. He, all of a sudden, now his arms no longer look human. They look like straight cyborg arms.
He's got the metal running down the front of his legs, the metal nose now that you can press, and he can change his hair to whatever he wants at that point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah, Frankie's really interesting. Especially he's always got his little bikini bottom on, no matter what. Never takes it off. That's his thing.
Something that everyone changed. And and it's funny because didn't they say that certain areas were actually still human? Like he
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
a full cyborg?
yeah. Well, Cyborg is human
Oh,
and
true,
robot
true,
combined,
true.
so he's still partially human to an extent. Just we don't know what all is still human on him.
I mean, shoot, at this point, after seeing everything that he becomes, it might just be that guy's heart. I mean,
Yeah, but you can't ever go anywhere without Frankie's patent super.
super!
Just everywhere. I love it. He's so just goofy, especially like Desirosa when he's fighting the guy that swims through anything, and they're having this super
Oh,
hard
God.
boiled manly fight. It's so goofy and just out there, but it was so good at the same time.
Okay, and it's good, and it's strangely perverted, but it's just, you call that a manly fight? This is a manly, like,
Oh
oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
gotta love Frankie. Uh,
Luffy would not be as far as he is without Frankie. Without any of his crewmates, really.
oh yeah, Luffy without his crewmates he's just kind of there. Like I don't know if he could have pushed as far as he did because they really have kept him going. Because you're starting to see that he's almost got that side of Whitebeard to him a little bit. How Whitebeard really wanted a family, and
Right?
he kind of this is his family. Like Ace was his family, Garp is his family, Dragon is his family, but they're like Ace was super close to him and Sabo's super close to him, but it almost seems like this group to him now, especially during the Merryfold when they were first there before the 2 year hiatus, when they were all disappearing, and he just crushed him because he thought he failed them as a captain. Like,
100%. 100%. And that's why they went on that 2 year hiatus. Because he pretty much said, I need to get stronger. And the crew pretty much said the same thing. So, it's funny. By a simple notion, they were all able to know, yes, we're not where we need to be yet.
yeah, and it's funny because right before the 2 year hiatus, you get Impel Down, because he's trying to save Ace, and you get Summit War. Again, he's trying to save Ace, and you get this huge war, and you really get to see Luffy develop there and how much stronger he had become right there, and you get especially when he uses that Conqueror's Hockey for the first time, and all like the warlords kind of notice, hey, we can't let this kid continue because
Yeah,
of
I
that.
mean, what did his bounty rise just in that point? From that one attack, didn't his bounty go up like a ridiculous amount? I mean, gosh,
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the exact number, but I mean, his bounty literally just, I think it like quadrupled, or if not, went up 10 times. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. And like Summit War, that one hurt.
You know, a lot of people ask me, okay, because we've seen a lot of animes, right? What was almost one of the saddest scenes in almost any anime I've ever seen? Gosh, it was right there, that Summit War.
It's right now. There's a couple of them for me, and the one I just recently rewatched in Shippuden, Jiraiya's death.
Oh, shit.
That one, that one hurts every time I watch it. Eyes well up. It builds up some tears there. Ace's death, and just Luffy just losing his mind right there, and just
There was nothing. There was like, I wanted to jump into the screen to be able to help him. I wanted to be like, it's okay. But yeah, no, it's oh my gosh. And then, you know, okay, again, I think, what happened with Ace, that was probably one of the most sad. If we're going to talk about Naruto, there's, two people, obviously, Jiraiya and, we're not supposed to talk about Naruto, right? We're going to get into a whole nother subject on there. And Azuma, we just throw that out.
yeah. Well, Asuma was really sad. Neji hurt me too.
That was really unexpected. Neji was unexpected. But, again, we could talk all day about Naruto. That would have to be
Yeah,
for a future run. I think it's time to talk about our skeleton friend, Brook.
the Soul King,
Exactly, the Soul King.
and
And, you know, uh, his devil fruit is very interesting to me. Like, I feel like I don't quite understand it. I've seen different integral parts of it, but I've never fully understood it. So if there's anything that you want to throw in, we're talking about Mr. Soul
oh,
King.
so Mr. Soul King, Brook. So you really get to see like the full extent of his actual devil fruit ability when he pulls the souls. I forget what arc it's in. When he actually pulls the souls out of a few people. It's later on. You like get to really see like he is the king of souls. Like that's part of that fruit. It might even you might almost want to say that's part of an awakening in that fruit, maybe. But I'm not real sure because his original devil fruit power just allows him to stay as a soul and not die.
Right.
Like even
Yeah, I
after his
think.
body's decayed.
Yeah, what is that one called? The Yomi Yomi fruit, but I believe it's just called the Soul fruit. When you
Yeah.
translate it into English. But yeah, it helps him keep him alive. I love how he could just become a pile of bones and move around as like this ghost-like creature. But one of the things that I really want to see how it develops, because you have Big Mom and she's able to take life from your soul. I wonder if he's going to be able to combat that, being the Soul King.
Yeah, so what I feel like is going to happen with that one, I feel like he's going to be able to reverse that effect on her.
Okay, okay, I can see that too, because I feel like she's gonna try to attempt some sort of soul thievery, and yeah, it's gonna somehow bounce back, and she's gonna get older.
Yeah. So right now, because in the manga, spoilers, she's she's fighting Law and Kid,
Okay, I
and
could see that happening because I figured she could probably take out Falco. So
yeah, she's fighting Law and Kid together, and they are not faring very well. So to
it's a
maybe
little bit
see
hard
like,
to fare well against Linden.
yeah, it would be kind of cool to see someone like Brooke come out of nowhere, save the day on that one.
I feel like he can because we haven't really seen what more he could do. We've seen a lot of his development on how he's been able to grow. We are able to now see how he uses that ice sword to his advantage. So I really want to see his big major attack, the one that's going to be the end all see all for Brook. Whether it's some sort of awakening, whether he somehow uses that Soul King power to, you know, combat Big Mom. I really am curious on how that's going to develop.
In case you're interested, the Luffy Kaido fight, real quick. Just a quick little spoiler: Luffy hasn't even gone into fourth gear yet, and he's already forced Kaido through 3 of his forms.
Wow, wow. And I
But
think you even said that Kaido takes over his almost perfect form, right?
he's going that's the speculation that he's about to go into, because the more he drinks, the actual better fighter he becomes, apparently.
I'm glad you said that. So I had a speculation. You know how they always say that when kung fu fighting, right? That there's always some sort of drunken fist. I had a speculation that Kaido was somehow a master of the drunken fist and is somehow going to bring that into, One Piece.
Because, and the funny thing about the fight too, it's like they're both enjoying the fight. It's not one of these like they hate each other. Like they almost seem to be enjoying fighting each other.
I mean, every time you see Luffy, he's excited for a new fight. He's excited to pass where he was at before. I mean, first it was what? The Warlords, and now it's oh my gosh.
It's the
The
emperors.
5 Emperors of the Sea, yes. And
Yeah.
yes, you guys all heard me. I said 5 Emperors of the Sea, no longer 4. Got to give respect where respect's due.
Well, there's still one big fight coming up for Luffy that Luffy's gonna have to handle eventually, and that's not. I said Blackbeard at the beginning of this, and I messed up entirely on the last episode. I want to go ahead and apologize. It's the Gold D. Roger pirates. Black
Yes.
Blackbeard is not the correct name. I said that wrong,
No.
and I apologize.
Yeah, no, no, no. Blackbeard is this new age group that is, I would almost say, the rivals for the Straw Hats. I know it hasn't really fully developed into something like that, but how you see Blackbeard, even going back to helping out the Marines again, or yeah, Blackbeard helping out the Marines again, you could see it. You could see where it's developing, where that's going to be like his true rival and his true test.
Yeah, and there's speculation that he's some kind of descendant to rocks.
Okay. Okay.
So somehow he's a descendant to rocks. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know, but that's the speculation going around, the little buzz that I've seen so far.
And we're gonna have to talk about rocks in another episode because we got to finish all of the Straw Hat crew, right?
We still got one more. We got Jimby, right? That's Jimby.
Yes,
Missing
Jimmy.
one.
And for those that don't know, he is the latest of the entire Straw Hat pirate crew. Go ahead.
And really, the first time you see him is in Impel Down when he's talking to Ace, and he holds no one but he's really talking to Ace, and he's like, I don't really hold anyone in high regard but you. Like he's kind of these exchange of words, and he's like, even if I met your brother, he's got to prove to me he deserves my respect. I'm not going to give him my respect just because he's your brother, basically.
Oh yeah.
And you kind of see as Impel Down progresses, like Luffy and Ivanka and Jimby, how they're really like you start seeing this connection where Jimby's starting to really kind of take this latching on to Luffy, like really develop this respect for this kid that just kind of showed up. Hey, I'm here to save my brother, but he wasn't there, and he's like, well, I'll do anything to save him. So now I just busted my way down 6 flights of Impel Down, the highest security prison in the world. Now I'm going to break my way all the way back out of this place that I broke into just to go save him, because now he's at the Marine Forge and they're going to try to they're going to try to execute him.
Exactly. And it's crazy because when you see a character like Jimby, he's actually dare I say it, one of the most powerful Straw Hat crews. Um, dare I say, more powerful than Zoro and Sanji. In fact, at the time of when, of course, Luffy first meets Jinbe, flat out the most powerful. I cannot say, without a doubt, or I can say without a doubt, more powerful than anybody in the Straw Hat Luffy crew. However, in that 2-year hiatus, Jinbe did not really evolve. It was more about evolving, the other characters, more about growing Luffy, so he can become that respectable captain that Jinbe can eventually follow.
And Jimmy, since he was no longer a warlord anymore, since they had stripped him of that title, he's kind of free to do whatever he felt was right. And you see him really do that when they go down, and he kind of butts heads with Luffy when they're down at the Undersea Kingdom.
Right.
He kind of
Well,
butts
it's
heads
because
with Luffy down there.
technically, well, it's because technically, he to save face, he really had no choice. I mean, as part of the Sun Pirates Kingdom, they were actually owned by Big Mom. So it's almost as if he had no choice, because if not, Big Mom going to come raining down.
Oh yeah, it's just like what was going on in Dressrosa with, because even he'd seen the worst of worst and the best of best Doflamingo had, but he'd made a deal with Kaido, and he really didn't want Kaido to come down on his head. He'd even warned Luffy that if this happened, Kaido would be coming for him.
Exactly. Exactly. And Luffy, as typical, does what he wants, says what he wants, how he wants. He's like, let Kaido come. That was almost one of the most badass things that I heard Luffy say was pretty much, bring it on. Bring it on,
Oh,
or
yeah.
pretty much Kaido's next.
Yep. But you don't really get to see him go straight after Kaido, because you have the whole arc with Sanji and Whole Cake Island. And
Oh, okay, got it now. That was funny. Now, when we continue to talk about Jimmy, he was so respected in the pirate world already. If I'm correct, Jimby was never or he was a part of Roger D. Gould's crew until a certain point.
I'm pretty sure that is right. And the offset is to said, I think we messed it up earlier, because Odin was actually a part of Whitebeard's crew.
He was originally part of Whitebeard until a certain point
Certain
where
point.
because Whitebeard, well, no, actually Blackbeard told, oh, sorry, Roger D. Gould told Whitebeard, hey, let's fight for Odin, really, because they wanted to be able to see more. And Whitebeard was kind of already comfortable with where he was at, but Roger D. Gould, with wanting to be the king of all pirates, to see and find the One Piece, that's where Odin was saying, hey, I want more of that adventure.
Yeah. I see that fight was pretty cool between Gold D. Roger and Whitebeard.
Oh
Just get a
gosh,
little.
I wanted more. I was craving more after that.
Oh yeah, because to see those two square off when they were younger would have been amazing.
Oh yeah, to see them square off in the prime.
Is
Whew.
that what? Because that kind of shows you the level that they were on compared to where, like, because if Jimby was under them, and he's a warlord at the time you, or a former warlord at the time you meet him, that just shows you how powerful those guys had become comparatively to where Jimby is actually at. And this is where Jimby's at, and then you see Luffy catch up to him a little bit. He may be on par with him now, maybe a little above, but he's really pushing the boundaries of being that Gold D. Roger Whitebeard status now.
Yeah, no, Luffy is definitely pushing that boundary. I mean, as we continue to see him grow, to be able to control, your crewmates like Zoro, Sanji, who are always beefing it out with each other, to be able to have that respect of Jimby, a former warlord, to be able to go through all the warlords, to be able to become where you're at and become an emperor of the sea. Yes, he has to be at that point, at that level. And it would almost be remiss of us to fail to mention that Roger D. Gould, Whitebeard, Luffy, because I don't think the first two were ever emperors of the sea, per se. So it almost makes me wonder, like, where was Kaido? Where was Big Mom? Where were they in these terms of ranking?
Well, originally they served directly under rocks with Whitebeard.
Right.
So that shows you because Whitebeard is in that same crew with Kaido and Big Mom, and so that shows you that where their power level was. But that means for them to become these emperors that they are, that means they almost had to push beyond what Whitebeard was. So that means they're from where Whitebeard is, where you see him on his deathbed, basically. Spoilers again, where he actually dies at Marineford or Forge, and it really shows you where Kaido and Big Mom are now comparatively to him, considering they're still out there just doing whatever they want. Yeah. Hey,
Well,
I want you as part of my family. You're coming into my family, and
exactly.
Big Mom's case.
So as we almost, conclude talking about the Straw Hat Pirates, technically we're not concluded. I mean, we're not going to get into all the rest that he is now the captain of. But if I'm correct, Luffy has over what 5,500, crew that he actually maintains. You have the main crew that we just reviewed over, but I believe he now reigns over the Sun Pirates. He now reigns over the gosh, there's a giant pirate group. I forget what they're called, but the Giants, and a few others that he now reigns over. And I think even one of them was actually Boa's crew.
Yeah. Hey, well, you really see the first part of that when Bartolome and
Yes.
all of the pirate captains that were there on Dressrosa try to swear their loyalty to him, and he basically tells them, "No, I'm not going to be in command of y'all." He's like, "But if y'all need help, we will come to help you." And it's basically one of those things. He's like, "I'm not y'all's captain. I won't be y'all's captain. I won't be y'all's admiral. But if y'all need help, y'all can count on us to help y'all." Kind of deal. So it's not really that he's in control of these pirates. It's just they're loyal to him because of who he is and the respect that he has earned from them.
Because I mean, beforehand, the Sun Pirates, they were loyal to Big Mom, but they all did their own thing. you know. And I think that's Luffy's model. He wants them to be able to explore what they want to be able to explore. But I do firmly believe that overall, maybe not in the terms of captain or admiral, but I think if he was ever saying, "Hey, crew, we're going up against," well, I mean, I guess they're already doing it now, up against Kaido and his crew, he could call forth upon them, which again baffles me because I feel like eventually that call is going to happen. Eventually, that backup is going to happen where it's like, "Hey, guess what? Now the whole crew's here."
Yeah, and the thing is, there's one emperor that they still have to take down, even after they take down Kaido and Big Mom, and it's one emperor that it's. I feel like it's going to be heartbreaking because it is how you say his mentor. It's the guy that Luffy looks up to the most, but he's got to come down for Luffy to excel.
I do have a strong theory on it, and we might be getting past our time. But my theory is that I don't think they're ever gonna battle it out because you're right. That was his mentor, and I believe both of those two pirate groups have the same, I guess, style or have the same willingness to be, free, willingness to be free, right? And I think that, and again, this is all just thoughts. I think that eventually they're almost going to team up to be able to then take out Blackbeard. I
Yeah,
think Blackbeard is going to be that formidable.
yeah. I feel like Shanks is still gonna force a little bit of a fight out of Luffy. I feel like he's
I mean,
got to
he's got to
test.
find it. He's got to see what Luffy's made of.
Yeah,
He's
he's
definitely
got to
because
test him.
exactly like Shanks already has his respect for Luffy. For sure, already has his respect for Luffy. But I do believe that you're right. He's got to test him to be able to say, okay, after all these years, where are you now? Where are you now where I could truly say you're the king of all pirates? So you're right. There's got to be some sort of test there. But I just can't see that both pirate groups are going to clash against each other. That part I can't see.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about Shanks's crew, none of them have a devil fruit. because that was the oath they swore, that not a single one of them would ever eat a devil fruit.
That I did not know. I feel like I gotta go back watch like The World now, just
Yeah.
to be able to realize that. Interesting.
And they're the strongest group out there right now, because
Oh yeah.
Big Mom's crew's been whittled down, Kaido's being whittled down, and Shanks was there because Kaido tried to come to Marine Forge to come and like fight that fight because he just wanted to fight. He just wanted to come
Right.
fight the Marines, but Shanks stopped him. I don't
Yep.
know what he said or if he fought him back, but Shanks stopped that from happening.
From what I got out of the scene, Shanks kind of had his barrier and was saying pretty much, if you want to go fight them, you need to go through me, because he was trying to protect everything that Luffy was fighting for. He was allowing Luffy to develop.
Yeah. So, and that just shows you how strong he is without a devil fruit.
That's insane to me. I always thought some of his crew had devil fruits.
Not a one of them. And
Wow.
that's just their oath. So that really brings up the question, which we'll have to go back into and kind of speculate on later on, is why did they steal the gum fruit?
That is a question for another episode.
And they stole it from C9, the world government, who the
Yeah.
emperors technically work for.
Wow. This is gonna be a good conversation for next time. That's gonna be a good, like, just kind of what if. Let's just throw things out there.
So thank y'all again for joining us for Konich-Yeehaw. I am Master of Shadows. This is Ricky. It's been great having y'all out. Please check us out on all your major podcasting platforms. We are on all of them now. If you would like to see the video, we are on the Last Choice Network on YouTube, and all of your podcasting platforms, we are on Last Choice Network. And again, we are Konich-Yeehaw.
All right, everyone.